Okay, ladies. So I want you to leave me an X in the chat. If you've used planners in the past, but they didn't make you any more productive or help you to make much more progress than you expected. If that sounds like you, or if that's the situation that you're currently in, I want you to leave me an X in the chat because you are absolutely not alone. So many women come to the planning community looking for a planner to be their ultimate productivity sidekick. They do some research, they look at planners, they watch some reviews, they choose a planner they feel most excited about, their unicorn planner, they might say. They get it home, they spend all this time setting it up exactly as they want with all the information that they need inside, so excited that they've now achieved this sense of planner peace, and then they start using the planner and they still have just as much to do, and they're spending the same amount of time doing it, and they aren't seeing any more results than usual. The planner is not making them more efficient or strategic with their time and tasks. They are just as overwhelmed and busy as they always have been, and they still don't have time for the goals and priorities they say matter to them. I'm seeing a wall of X's in the chat. So yes, the planner may have helped them a little bit. It helped them remember the tasks that they said they wanted to do, and it helped them to remember their appointments most of the time, right? When they actually checked the planner, right? Because give me an amen in the chat if you have ever set up a planner and then failed to actually check it to see what you needed to do. It happens so much more than you think. Getting a planner and filling it out once does not mean that you're going to suddenly have this reliable planning routine in place. So if that sounds like you, and I see the wall of X's in the chat, you are in the right place today. And I want you to know that if this has happened to you in the past, I totally understand why it happened, and I'm going to take some time to explain it to you now. Because most planners aren't actually planners. I know, right? Most planners are simply a paper-based reminder system. I want you to think about this, think critically about this. Most planners on the market give you a pretty standard system of inserts. Now, the inserts may look a little different. They may have been laid out in a different way, or they use a different font or a different style. But the vast majority of planners out there that you can buy are essentially the exact same system. They give you a yearly reference calendar, maybe 2 years, right? And this reference calendar with the months and all the little days, right? The little mini calendars, you use that as reference so that you can check dates, right? So you know the dates of the year and what day of the week they are, all of that stuff. That's usually the start of those planners. Then they give you a monthly spread, usually a boxed style grid where you're meant to write in some events or due dates, but not very much because the boxes, they only hold so much information. So you can fit some birthdays and maybe the trash pickup day and some holidays and doctor's appointments and maybe some important due dates on that monthly view. Then they give you either a daily or a weekly agenda spread. The weekly agenda may have some lined sections for each day of the week, maybe a task list on the side, and the daily agenda might also include a daily hourly schedule. And then at the end of the planner, you may get some notes pages or context pages, some very brief reference section. That system of inserts inside most planners is giving you a step-by-step process for how to use the planner. So it's saying, put events here, put your tasks here, put your appointments in this space. This is your day, right? That's the system that they're using, and that is a system that is meant to help you remember. It's not a system meant to help you be more productive or strategic, because just writing down a to-do list isn't making you more productive. Having an hourly schedule doesn't make you more efficient or help you achieve your goals. It may make you initially feel more productive, which is part of the neuroscience behind planning, which is that the physical act of writing out or even typing out a to-do list or a schedule makes your brain feel more at ease. Your brain feels that way whether or not you actually do the tasks and follow through on the schedule or not. So with most of these planners, you write out some tasks, you feel better, you may then move on with your day and then ignore that list in your planner because you feel better just because you wrote the tasks down. Okay, so let's say you come back to that list, right? Those reminders that you wrote down. How do you even begin to tackle the list? I guess you just choose a task from the list that you feel like doing because in that list, there's no prioritization. There's no clear objective for the big picture that you want to accomplish. There's no strategy. And so what happens is that most people take the easiest task off that list and they do that one. They sift through the list, right? And they choose what they feel like doing. And then at the end of the day, the list still has some tasks on it, right? Because it's a fundamental principle of life. There's always more to do than time to do it in the day. So you have some tasks left on that list, and 9 times out of 10, some of those tasks left on the list are important things that you actually needed to get done today. But they've been pushed off for tomorrow now, haven't they? Right? And so you come back to your planner the next day and you see these tasks and you add some more tasks for the new day and you start to choose again. But because there's no structure or strategy for this list, you look at the items and you say to yourself, I don't feel like doing these things. I don't have the energy. I didn't have the energy for them yesterday, and they seem even more urgent today. And I feel like that's a lot of pressure on me right now, so I'm going to have to do something else. And so you take another easy task off your list. And every time you check something off, something easy, you get a hit of dopamine. And that hit of dopamine makes you feel like you're getting things done. You're checking boxes, right? You're feeling productive. But guess what? At the end of the day, those big, scary, urgent tasks are still there. And the longer they sit on your to-do list, just ignored, the bigger and scarier they become. Who's ever done this? You've left something on your to-do list for so long that you are now irrationally scared to approach the task. I know I have done this many times, so I'm not immune to this situation either. It's human, it's neuroscience. The longer we avoid something, the more pressure we feel, and the more pressure we feel, the more our brains turn on that fight or flight response, and we generally then will avoid the task and pretend it doesn't exist, instead of just doing it and getting it out of the way, which is what would actually make us feel better and solve the problem. Okay, so we have all this, right? We have this existential threat created by our planners just because we are using a system of inserts that aren't actually meant for planning or doing, they're meant for remembering. So go ahead, look inside some of the planners that I know you already have in your stash. Look at the planners at Target or at Staples or somewhere online. This system of inserts is repeated over and over and over. Just because you think that there are thousands of planners on the market, you have so many options. How could you possibly choose? You probably have thought that to yourself, right? You think there's all these planners out there in the market, but there aren't. They're just multiple sizes and variations on this one system. So darn, what are we supposed to do? How do we get a planner that actually helps us plan and avoid situations and downward spirals like this? Because we're ambitious ladies here. We have things to do. We have goals. We have families. We juggle priorities and responsibilities like a boss, and we don't have time for a planner that isn't helping us do more in less time. A planner that isn't helping us get clear on what we need to do to be successful. Well, this is exactly where I found myself circa 2014. Pre-made planners were not doing it for me. So I started designing my own inserts to create a planning system that actually helped me get my ideas out of my head and onto paper. It helped me organize those ideas strategically, and then it helped me schedule and track all those tasks so that I was actually getting things done. That 3-phase system became the basis for my personal planning philosophy that I called functional planning. Functional because it helps you get everything you need and want to do out of your head and onto paper so you can organize that information strategically and then schedule and track your work to its successful completion. Step 1, step 2, step 3. This is how we plan functionally. Functional planning is based on research-backed time, task, and personal energy management strategy. Plus, it incorporates actual neuroscience so that as you follow through with functional planning techniques, you're actually training your brain to think more productively and strategically about your tasks and how you spend your time. For years, I've been obsessed with the concept of functional planning, and I've been sharing my journey here on YouTube and on my blog and on my social platforms as I research, design, and create functional planning tools to help you create the strategic plan for your life. And the culmination of this work is my signature functional planner known as the Charmed Life Master Planner. So I created the first iterations of the Charmed Life Master Planner back in 2015, and every year since I've evolved the design to incorporate new research and technology so that your planner becomes the single greatest tool in living your best life. And in preparation for today's launch, I actually went back and reviewed some of my old planner setup videos from 2014. And although I didn't formally create the master planner until 2015, you can see the earliest iterations of that system of inserts itself, right? Inside of those early videos, specifically the ones from the second half of 2014. My 2015 planner setup video is the master planner system, just with some different inserts. Most of the inserts in that planner were designed by me, but it's there, right? And it's insane to think that Charmed Life Master Planner is now officially 8 years old. It was born in 2015. It was conceived in 2014, but it was born in 2015, and now it's 8 years old. And for anyone who may be new to me and wondering about the name of the planner, in 2015, I designed a unique month on 2 pages and a vertical week on 2 pages planner that I called the Charmed Life Planner. And that was all it included, monthly and weekly pages, because that's how planners are sold, right? We just went through that standard planner format, right? But I also ended up selling the Charmed Life Master Planner in a bundle with some really key project planning inserts, and I called that bundle the Functional Planning Bundle, okay? So I sold the planner like that until 2018, when I added the third and final section to the bundle that I ended up calling the Brilliant Ideas section, which is essentially my brain dump, brainstorm, and notes pages. Once I added that third section, really completing the planner and the functional planning system, I started calling it the Master Planner, right? So it was the one planner to rule them all, right? So I merged the two names, Charmed Life Master Planner, because my brand name is Strange and Charmed, my shop is the Charmed Shop, and I'm all about living a charmed life. And Master Planner because this one planner was it. This system was the embodiment of functional planning mastery. So that is the history of the name of the planner. The Charmed Life Master Planner is a first of its kind functional planning system. System because the inserts included in the planner walk you through a specific process for getting your ideas out onto paper so you can prioritize them, because we know that we cannot do it all at one time, right? We have to make a choice and select what is most important and put first things first and second things second. Normal planners aren't telling you to do that. Then the system guides you into organizing your tasks into strategic project plans so you can create a step-by-step process for achieving an objective, a goal, or some outcome that you desire in your life. Finally, the planner gives you a variety of calendar pages so that you can outline your plans for the year with a big picture overview, right, on the yearly views. And then you can drill down from yearly to the monthly views and then into the weekly and daily views, right? If you need that much detail, it's totally up to you. The concept is that you create this big picture plan for your year, you break it down into action steps, and you can track and schedule those tasks down from the macro view to the micro view so that each day you know exactly what you have to do to move your life forward. And as long as you do those few essential tasks each day and each week, you have made necessary and impactful progress. This is all based on neuroscience and productivity research that tells us that humans see their time and plans as unique structures. So it's important to have multiple views in your planner to mimic the way you see time in your mind. This is known in science as chronoception, your perception of time. And this is also based off the science of what is known as time-space synesthesia, which is the way that some people, including myself, perceive time as part of their physical space. Now, this is something that I've only ever really discussed in private with the mastermind, but I experience time a little different than some other people do. I actually see time around me like a ring around my body. And because I have this synesthesia that I experience, when I plan, I need to be able to see time laid out visually as opposed to seeing it just as a list. And this factor has played heavily into how I design my planner inserts because some people, like myself, have a very visual experience of time, and most planner systems do not provide the right layouts for people like me to see their plans in a way that allows them to make an accurate prediction of what they'll be able to accomplish with their time. So if you experience time-space synesthesia like me, or you just consider yourself to be a very visual person, like you need a lot of visuals in your planner, the Charmed Life Master Planner includes inserts that most planners do not include. So it's a more functional system for anyone who is neurodivergent in any way. Every year, I work to refine these inserts and this system, really making the system as accessible as possible to the greatest number of women because I know and believe, and I'm living proof, that this process, once you learn it, there is a learning curve, but once you learn it, will take you from overwhelmed to organized. It'll take you from chaos to clarity, and it truly helps you to work smarter, not harder. For years, the Charmed Life Master Planner was only available as a set of print-at-home inserts. Then in 2018, I turned it into a book-bound planner that you can purchase on Amazon. Last year, the planner got a huge makeover in terms of style, right? All the same great function, but I just had to give her a makeover. The girl was 7 years old. She needed it. And now I'm so excited to unveil the next evolution of the system. Drum roll, please. The Digital Master Planner. For years, you have asked me to design a digital version, and she's finally here. So let's go ahead and switch views for a moment, and I want to give you a tour of what is inside the Master Planner, show you the digital, show you the print on demand, let you see your options so that you can make the best informed choice for yourself in 2024. Hey there, ambitious ladies! Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about the Charmed Life Master Planner system. If you'd like to take a guided video tour of these planners, I have 2 videos linked in the description. One for the Digital Master Planner and one for the Print on Demand Planner, so you can see exactly what's inside each and how they function. If you have any questions about either of the planners, please let me know in the comments of either of those videos, and I'd be glad to answer them for you. Thank you so much for spending some of your precious time with me today, and until next time, bye-bye!